Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. In the background we have some pre-recorded footage. As before we get going today, we're going to take a look at a few numbers I've been working out, spending several hours again running trains backwards and forwards and making notes. Today I would like to share with you those notes before we head over and start our balancing act over at the coal and iron mine. Shall we start? Now, if you're going to not be interested in this at all, I will put an index thingy on the YouTube. On the YouTube? Yes, on the YouTube. That is exactly what that is. On the YouTube bar, the timeline thing. You know what I mean. Chapters. What do they call it? Is it chapters? I think so. Yeah, so you can skip the numbers that are about to appear. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the actual layout changes. What profit do we gain after doing all those changes last time out? Was it worthwhile? Well, this is going to highlight whether it was or not. And first off, we have the original layout, which had a line throughput of 291, which was the line rate, and we were meeting it, plus 100, which is what we bring back. We know we'll bring 100 back because we're taking more than 200 out. So that's the line throughput. So that gives us a cost per item, which is the running cost per year, divided by the yearly throughput of the line. Not the line rate, it's the throughput, because we are taking goods back, of 4,900, a little over. And then I went ahead and worked out some other stuff on there, which is the crude's income per item, which is how much we get in game divided by how much we were carrying. So for the first leg it was 7,740 and some change, and then we deduct the cost per item, which gives us a profit of 2,832 per item. And then I did the same for the oil, and because our original layout had the extra leg in it, that works out at 3,218 profit, net profit per item. It's not 100% accurate, this, because it doesn't take into account the cost of the infrastructure. You would have to deduct that overall, but we don't need to know that. All we need to know is how do two items compare like for like. So there we go. Then we've got the crude income, oil income, and our total crude plus oil, 1,146,196.99. We can now move on to our new layout. Our line throughput for that one, not changing the train. I ran this and I continue to run this so we could get some balanced figures. But that was 389 plus 100, so that gives us 489. It's not actually far off the perfect line rate on that one, the perfect throughput. And that gives us a cost per item of 3,924. Lower is better for cost per item. Already we've gained nearly 1,000 net profit. Now this is where you may be scratching your head and saying, well, that's obvious, Gran, because you're not doing the line rate. True, this is just the change in layouts, isn't it? And we're comparing those. The change in layout without doing anything to the vehicle on it, the train, we'll skip through all that. There's all the rest of the workings out that we've already gone through. Total income plus trucks, which is important. So we've got 1,866,239.16. And then we can add the truck income onto that, which I've worked out the same way, deducting the cost per item. And that's 95,715 on top of an already impressive increase. So that new layout was a good move, wasn't it? That's an increase of tremendous amounts. Anyway, to round things off nicely, what happens with the old and new layout if we match identical line rates? Because that's kind of key as well. It's alright doing it with a train that isn't up to the task, although it is nearly on the new layout. What we want to see is how does that translate once the line rates are balanced and everybody's doing the best they can. Well, the old layout, I actually did 2 different trains as well, so we could see the difference on how trains perform against each other. I tried out a 2 times BR75.4 bad with 27 wagons on. These were the absolute best I could do with them. They may be a little over, which is fine. It's still going to balance itself out due to longer loading times while it waits only a few seconds for some load because of the length of the wagons and the way that you rarely can you add exactly the right amount of wagons to meet the line rate. That aside, it was all done fairly. We got a 5,113.62 cost per item. Now, I don't have the rest of the calculations here because all we really need to know is cost per item. If that's lower on another setup, that's the one you go with. I mean, if it's close, it doesn't really matter. The other one I tried was an A35 plus a BR754 and 25 wagons. That had a cost per item of 5,230. It's sort of the profitability number, isn't it? It's not a bad yardstick to figure out what sort of combinations of train and wagons is the most profitable or the most cost effective when running. The new layout, well, this was an interesting one because originally I was going to go with 2 times BR 75.4s and 19 wagons. That's what we had agreed on. We just needed to add another wagon to it, which is good because compared to the old layout, exactly the same line rates, remember. This is only costing us 3,978.01 for an item, compared to over 5,000 for the other 2 on the old layout. Exactly the same line rate. And then I tried, what about 1 BR 75.4 with way more well, not way more wagons, it was only 5 more. So 5 more wagons. That's always touted as the best option. Now, if my maths are out, that could still be the case. But this seemed to tally quite well in game. Everything seemed to balance out. Ratios were roughly where they should be, give or take, because of the reduced cost when loading and unloading can make that fluctuate. Now, you would think that having a single loco and lots more wagons, so there's more profit in those wagons, that it would have been a lot less on the CPI. But with my current working out and how it turns out in game as well, it was slightly worse. I mean, we're talking margins here. I mean, it probably is almost identical running those 2 trains, given the loading times and the deduction in maintenance while you are loading and unloading. So, you know, swings and roundabouts on those 2. But as a flat out number, if you had to choose, I would go with the 2 times BR. I then had an idea. What about a single A35? Well, it turns out that needs 20 wagons, and there you go, 3,872.29 it would cost us. The lowest of all 3 of those setups. So that's the one we're going to go with today. We're going to change that over to run a single A35 and 20 wagons. Not only that, we're going to need to lengthen our station as well. We can't quite hold enough, and it trips up the line rate a little bit because we overfill it just as we're kind of pulling in and end up waiting because it's not aligned correctly. So yes, which coincidentally is also going to add to our profit margin because we have to travel slightly further. It's actually an extra 40 per item, which soon adds up when you've got 500 items being carried a year. So there you go, guys. That's my working out. I know, a little bit lengthy, and we shouldn't need to go over this again. I hope you can make some use of that on your own maps with your own testing. It's going to be different for every line, so it's a lot of work to do to get the optimum setup done, and it would take saving and reloading and stuff if you were going to do it as a one shot, because you need to know the exact line rate. You can guesstimate, obviously, but yeah. I was surprised by those figures, which could mean that my calculations are out. But it seems okay. So now what we need to do is a whole load of balancing. And that has nothing to do with everything I just spoke about. The ones we were working on last time, and we haven't balanced yet because we ran out of money and we're completely broke. Which train do we do first? This one? Or this one? We've got a bit of money. I guess this one because it's on its way back. Our line rates currently are 141 and 116. We've got to get these two quick. Repay that. Ah, I missed some. We've got to get these to 400 each. Possibly a little bit over. Because it's unlikely we're going to hit it spot on. You definitely want to be over rather than under. If you've got to wait a little bit to load because you're over, then it's not too bad. You're going to save a bit of money while you're loading and waiting. You're going to save 60% of your running costs while you're sat loading. As long as you don't go overboard, that is. Although, I don't know whether there's an argument for that. We'd have to go back to our cost per item again. Should we get a couple more locos on this? Yes, that's the way I'd like to do that. No, let's get a couple more. Or in fact, we could maybe go full on with this, couldn't we? Let's spend that much. Do we want them the same colour? We do, don't we? Cargo. We'll put the rest on after this one. A different colour. It depends how many we get on there. How much can we get on for that much? Oh, really? Almost. Well, we'll do that. That'll be fine. We've got 9 on there. That's going to bump up the line rate no end. It doesn't matter about frequencies on this, but as we've seen, the tipping point for adding more wagons to a single loco is sooner than I expected. We're probably going to put some more wagons on this as well. This one's going to be doing a little bit better. Repay that. We've got a bit of headroom now, guys. There we go. We're not completely broke. In fact, could I just pin that and shrink it down a little bit? And every time we see it, we'll just hit the repay button. So, we've got a train on the way back. Here, we've got one there. I want to ride the train, but I don't want to miss a payment. There we go. We're not going to catch him. He's off. He's obviously more powerful than we are. Whether that is true, actually, I don't know. We've got more wagons on that one, haven't we? It's almost 2 of these. One of those. Not quite. I really do hope that little calculation is right for cost per item. That proves which train is best for the job, rather than umming and ahhing and be like, well, it seems to make more money. If you could have a definitive answer, it's nice, isn't it? It certainly helps with setting up your lines, taking a bit of doubt out the choices you make. There we go. There goes our A35. I guess we'll have something similar now for the oil. We can colour it a nice blue colour. That's what I'm going for anyway. It was... I've lost my notes, guys. But I think it was 20, wasn't it? 20 wagons? 20 wagons and a single A35. Should be spot on, but we need to extend the platform as well. This one's going to get here sooner. If we get a payday, that's going to be alright. We've got 3 million we can spend. So I say at least at least a couple of wagons on here. Actually, how much is a coal wagon? Could we stick one on now? I'm going to stick these on this colour. Let's see. Oh yes, look at that. Yeah, so we only need 373,000. Then we can add a new wagon on. Perfect. Get that on there. That's going to help, isn't it? It's just going to keep increasing that line rate. We're getting there slowly. I might have to change this to an A35 as well. I think we're just going to get to the point where we're far too slow. And we're not going to see much in the way of a line rate improvement every time we add a wagon on. We'll see. We'll see. What do we got? Well, let that settle down first. We need to go up this end. You're almost there. I closed it, guys. I closed it. I didn't realise that. Remembered the settings. That's lovely. 220 on there, and we carry 104, which is nowhere near enough. We're not done, are we? more than likely going to have to double up on this loco anyway. In fact, we will, won't we? Can we afford it? We've got 6 million. Maybe. It might be time to get an extra loco on there now and then start sticking wagons on there. Otherwise, it's going to take far too long for it to keep doing its journey, give us more money so that we can improve the train until we're up to the line rate. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm definitely feeling double A35s on this, similar to our other ore train. Don't stick those tank cars on, Grand. We could colour these, couldn't we? There we go. Let's have a bit of variety on this. Because we want the loco the same colour. Let's add one on there. We're going to take all 6 million out to do this. And pay what we don't use. We should use all of it, though. Let's get that on. And then we'll hold shift and shove you up the front. Is that the right colour? Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're a lighter colour. It'll be fine. There we go. And then, how much have we spent so far? 4 million. We need some more wagons on the back. We'll get this beefed up. Oh, that's it. That's lovely, isn't it? There we go. And just shy of 6 million. And we'll see what this does for the line rate. Don't close that. You need that open. We've got to make money. We've got to repay our loan, haven't we? There we go. That's a bit better. I mean, we're at maximum... Why do you keep closing that? Habit. it's definitely habit. Yeah, we've got 30 million in there. Ideally, we're going to need a platform big enough here to store our entire load. We don't really want to be losing some. Because we're getting to the point now where I'd like to shift as much as possible. We might as well. It's a little bit of extra work, but worth it. Might as well have optimal lines. We were doing okay with our starter lines because they were fairly short. So they tend to have more than we can carry or care to carry anyway. So then at that point you don't have to worry. But we're getting to the stage now where we can... Was that an aircraft? I dismissed that. I'll tell you why. Because I've seen it about 8 times when I was doing my testing. Because I completely forgot to pause the date. So I wasn't distracted. So yes, even without recording, I get distracted by things like that. But I think that was a plane because the airport has unlocked. That's lovely. We've got to get some aircraft on the way, haven't we? So how are we doing anyway? How are we doing on our... I didn't pin it. How are we doing on our line rates? Should we keep these open? We could have it something like that. And then we just need to click on that one. They're both pinned. I guess what we could also do... We could have the trains open as well, so that we know when they're coming down here. We can sit down here, watch them go by, as well as keeping an eye on everything that's going on down there. Then we can just open them. Oh, do you know what I didn't do, guys? This is free. Manage vehicle. It's going to get rid of all of our stuff. No, our line statistics have stayed up. Lovely. Let's uncheck that. I would like to colour those. There we go. Can we afford another one? I don't know how much they are. No. No. That's unfortunate. Anyway, we do want to get this up, this line rate here up to 100 as well. Because that's how much we'll be shipping to start with. There goes our double A35. Our line rate should be pretty healthy on that now. It's estimating 250, but as we know, that's miles off. And I have a theory about that as well. I think that Transport Fever's initial calculation is based on its empty weight, which is absolutely useless to most people. So I don't know why they did that. It's like when you buy a train, it shows you the empty weight. Absolutely useless information. No one cares about its empty weight. All you care about is the one you get in here, which is the weight if full. So I'm thinking that would be the better calculation. Oh, can we quickly do that? Nope, still not enough money. I don't know how much these are. I could find out, couldn't I, by clicking on it. They are... What are they going to cost? I don't know, about 100,000. Right, here comes our train. We don't have... Yeah, we're broke at the moment. That's fine, though. We've got a lot of trains, so... Oh, there we go. We've got a lot of trains, and they take a long time to do their journey, so we'll have a a lot of times where we're seeing no income. We have at least started to get more and more trucks, haven't we? Oh, dear goodness me, that was a payday. I think we can get another truck on there, though. I would like to get this up and ready. Can we have a couple of those? Beautiful. I think that's going to be close to the line rate we want. Maybe another one? Yeah. Maybe another 2. I mean, we've got 80 at the moment. That's not too bad. That will settle down once our trucks are delivering. This will be the new one. How full are we? Nope. Oh, we've got a stray road there. We'll change that as well. Are we on the way back here? We do have a little bit of funds. I'm just going to stick a wagon on the back there. We're colouring these, aren't we? They're all different colours. That's fine. But we do have a bit of a loan back. We've got... ooh, quick, pay that off as well. We're down to 26 million on our loan. When this gets back up to our train station, we'll take out whatever money to hopefully meet these line rates. Top one is this one that we're looking at, train 5. And this 218 is train 6, our coal train there, which is already carrying 80. So we're over halfway now on meeting our line rates. I love doing this. I don't know whether it makes for great entertainment, but what it does make for is usually a cold, rainy afternoon. Just sitting here tweaking the lines. Do love that. With a cup of tea, of course. Well, if you like tea, or your favourite beverage. Just chilling. I think by the end of the episode, we'll have paid off a decent chunk of our loan. And also got this spot on, I would say. And then we'll make the changes to the other line. That's what I'm hoping. We could play it a little faster as well. I mean, as long as I hover over this button. Dare I? Yeah, it'll be fine, I think. We might miss a few payments if I do that, though. How close are we to that station? Oh, it's not far, is it, really? Let's go full speed. There we go. Get you up there. In fact, you're almost up there. Can we get you up? Right, well, we can put one on there, can't we? Let's manage vehicle. We'll stick another... Well, there's no point. Well, there is. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. Don't do it yet. Wait until you're in the station. And then we'll just take out, again, the rest of the loan. So 4 million. Is that going to be too much? Maybe. I don't think we'll need that much. We'll take it out anyway and we'll buy a whole bunch of wagons. You're almost in there. I'm going to say we'll pause it there while we have some money in the bank. Do we have any trains that are possibly coming in? We got that one. Where are you? You are about halfway. What else do we have? What about our coal train? Oh, it's just pulling in. Look at that. No, you're not. You're just pulling out. Never mind. We're not making any money anytime soon. What about you? You're doing the hill climb, aren't you? Well, you're just heading up there. Yeah, we haven't got a payday coming anytime soon. So, let's borrow whatever we can again. Manage this vehicle. Let's get us as many wagons as we can on, I guess. We can always remove them. Do you know what? For these last ones, we'll just have them default colour. And how many can we fit on? What we got? Is that going to be too many? 216 capacity, 224. That's how many we can fit on for our current money's worth. Yes? Yeah, I'll take it. 2.9 million. There we go. We've got 28 on. I can't see us needing many more than that. The little brake sound. Let's see. Let's see. And if we can catch any payments, they're going to be coming in pretty sharpish, aren't they? Let's fast forward it then. We're going to be getting the odd payments from our trucks. We need to see what we can see on here. It's a bit of a mess. 382 is the guesstimation from the game, running empty, of course. If that is the case, which we don't need to know that at all. There we go, got it. Oh, I could have added another wagon on that. The timing was almost there, but my reflexes are obviously a little bit off. there goes our trains that are pulling in. Yeah, what are we saying on this one then? Train 5, our iron train is 2 more? Maybe 2 more might do it. We'll want it a little over rather than under. It's going to mean it's carrying a ridiculous amount, so we're going to need probably a bit of an extension on our station to make sure we're not chucking any off. This is a little easier to work out and meet than our other iron ore setup we've got, but it seems surely more beneficial that way. In fact, could I work it out, the 2 layouts, based on rate per item? That would give us an answer if it's right. I'm sort of confident it's a good metric to go by, but I'm not 100%. I've known to get excited over equations before, and then I've missed a trick somewhere. Couldn't see the forest for the trees half the time. Right, there goes our train. That's another big payday now. This is going to get quite profitable, isn't it? I mean, if we look at the finances, it doesn't look great at the moment because we've had a terrible loco to wagon ratio. Now, this one's getting better. Yeah, there's a first year, and now we're getting much better, aren't we? We're still not meeting it, though. I definitely feel... Quick, get it. I definitely feel like going A35 on this one. I just feel like we're going to lose out eventually. We're going to be adding wagons on and only maybe seeing 4 line rate gain, which would mean, depending when that happens, it's going to get ridiculously long and not move very fast. I mean, it doesn't matter about the frequency, but as we saw... I'm not going to reference my line rate thing in case it's wrong. I'm going to say it's not. Yeah, if that is true, then it makes sense to move to more power earlier than I thought it would. I've definitely seen these bars look better with the ones with a lower cost per item, that's for sure. That's what I tended to go with. It's actually difficult to find out the exact maintenance cost as well, because it fluctuates. Ooh, my days. That was a payday. Was that this? Did anybody see how much that made? I guess 3,325,741. Is that true? Maybe. Oh dear. That was a payday. That was a payday indeed. Look at that. Down to... We've paid off 7 million and bought stuff as well. Impressive. I like it. Right, I guess a bit of fast forwarding wouldn't hurt here. We might be able to do something with this coal train as well. Oh, not quite enough. Yeah, I'm going to stick it on fast forward. We're coming up to 19... I was going to say 2021. No, that's what we're in. But 1920 in the game. I honestly thought... I don't know what I was thinking, but I honestly thought that was the iron train pulling in here. I'm like, what are you doing? There's no way to get across. I will say I'm staring at these numbers with a slight smile on my face because it's nice, isn't it? That's the... What's that? That's the... Yeah, that's the total, isn't it? Net profit. What we got? Oh, dear. Yes, the middle thing there. Let's repay some of that. Now, I would imagine some of you got excited seeing that. Unfortunately, while we're waiting on this, I get to address the elephant in the room, which is that train. That elephant is also wearing a pair of Speedos with a potential maximum speed of 62,000 miles an hour, which makes it really profitable. And if you think that sounds ridiculous, it is, because that's roughly what Transport Fever does when it's calculating how much you get paid per item. Yes, it takes maximum potential speed. So having a 47 mile an hour train when you've got 50 mile an hour wagons doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You lose so much money. For anybody that follows me on Twitter, you'll know I was not pleased when I confirmed that is the case. So that train, worthless. It's not worth putting on, which is ironic given that it's a Swiss loco and the developers are Swiss, but they just straight up went, no, pointless train, pointless loco. Don't use it, basically. We won't be using it, and if we did, it would cost us quite a bit. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it can reach that speed either. So say we had track limits of 20 miles an hour. It's just an example to show why it's ridiculous that this max potential speed is a thing. But you had, for instance, a train that could do 60 would give you more money than a train that could actually do the 20, even though they both take in exactly the same time to do the route. In fact, when I was testing it, I've got a whole bunch of numbers for those as well. Let me find them. Yeah, I've got a bunch of numbers for those. The train that made the most money took 3 minutes 18 because it was not that crocodile. The crocodile was better at the job. It only took 3:10. They both had identical line rates, but the difference was $500,000 in payments per journey. Exactly the same loads, exactly the same line rate. The crocodile did a better job of it, but it's not worth it. All you need to do is balance the power, make sure that your loco is always at or faster than your wagons, which are, again, our wagons are 50, which makes the crocodile pointless. It's a sad, that shouldn't be anywhere in the game at all. It just shouldn't be part of the equation for how much you get paid. It should be as the crow flies, because we're agreeing a payment. So I would say as the crow flies, type of vehicle, expected time of delivery. Then you could even have up and down from that, couldn't you? You could get more or less depending on how quickly or how efficiently you deliver it. So it doesn't have to be a big punishment, and it doesn't have to be a time limited thing. How are we doing on line rate? So let's pause it there. I fast forwarded it a little bit to do this. But yeah, I think the calculation should be a lot better and shouldn't include that as a factor at all. It makes 0 sense in game or real life. I had the numbers to prove it as well over on Twitter, which it's in the about section on the channel or in the banner. If you want to go and look at that, don't have to follow me. I say stuff on there sometimes. Thank you to everyone that does, though. I do occasionally have a little natter on there. Anyway, is it train 6? Yes, I would like to beef this up fully. What are we at? We're only at 218. Should we just try with more wagons and see how we do? I'm going to put another 4 on there because we're absolutely miles off. We're at 371 on our iron train. That isn't too bad, is it? Let's borrow a bit more then. 4's going to be, what are they, 3 something? That might be a little too much. It'll be fine. That'll be enough, wouldn't it? Yeah, and we're just going to add 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, it's almost perfect. Look at me go. Right, let's see what that does for the line rate. That was noisy. Goodness me. Let's go over here. 305. 305 isn't bad. There we go. A little bit more fast forwarding. And get some income. Get these trains balanced. Yeah, that crocodile irks me now. It's like a wasted loco. That's only down to the line rate thing. The whole how much you get paid for delivery, it needs to be reworked from the ground up. I mean, they've got the basics, right? They already know as the crow flies, obviously. I'm pretty sure it is a multiplier as well, depending on the type of transport. And after our conversation on Twitter, I think the devs put it in there to cater for aircrafts getting a lot more money, but that's not how you do it. No, it breaks the rest of the game doing that. Well, it just doesn't seem balanced. It did make me a little sad, and I did feel almost like giving up playing and just doing YouTube in general. I know it was drastic, That's how cheesed up I was. That's not what I'm doing, though. I had a sleep since then. I was still miffed about it, but that's all I am. I just accept that it is a thing until they don't have it as a thing anymore. Maximum potential speed. Oh, I can't help but laugh. Anyway, moving on. We're going to get these line rates balanced. We're going to ignore trains that are rubbish. In gaming terms, in real life, I bet we'd love to have that train running. But in gaming terms, the devs hate that train, that loco. Yeah, I'm going to go on about that, aren't I? We'll get past assault, because now I've said that, we know it's a thing, and I don't need to mention it anymore. But if you ever see me ignore a certain train, for whatever reason, just have a look at its maximum speed and what our wagon speed is, and then you'll understand. Likewise, we're going to get into the point where our wagons are faster than our locos. And in that case, we're going for the fastest loco because that will give us our maximum potential will be based on the loco speed. And we just balance the power that way. And that will give us our maximum profit. It doesn't matter so much in sort of medium and easy. Hard mode, it will get you. I don't know about the starter trains, whether it affects those too much. So how are we doing? 290? Is that what we're going with there? It's a bit rubbish, isn't it? It's done a couple of runs now, hasn't it? This one, how many are we going to need on here? Like 2 more? 3 more? Should we go 2 more? We'll need to check on the state of play over there. I'll tell you what, we'll sort this one out. We'll stick 1 more on there. That'll be fine. Yes, 1 more on there. Let's borrow. That's all we'll need. And then we'll get another one on here. Oh, it's behind. Another one on here. What colour? Are we having these? No, we're having them normal now. There we go. Default colour. Right, you get carrying 232. We're going to have to make sure that we've got 232 capacity up there. Or we could go with a shorter frequency to make sure we get back before it fills up. That swings and roundabouts, would have to do the math for it to know exactly what the most profitable solution to that would be. For now, though, we're just going to try and match the line rate. Hopefully it's loading. Okay. Without too much wait time. The station might be overfilled. Can I click on it? Almost. Yeah, it's overfilled, so we're going to have to sort that out. Right, this one. What have we got line rate wise for this one? Let's just check that. 290. So adding... We're still a long way off on this one. Manage vehicle. Let's borrow some more money. What are we going with here? 3? I would like to go for 3 if we can afford it and just see what that does. 290 is our current line rate. Let's just make sure when it pulls in. No, that should read the same, Grand. I don't know what you're doing now. Right then, manage that. What are we going with? 3, 2, 3. It's just not quite enough, is it? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go 2 and I'll fast forward it and then we'll see. Yeah, take off 1. Right. There we go. Let's just see what that does for the line rate. It's saying 323. We're at 290 before. It really might be time. Quick repay. Ah, I missed it, guys. I missed it. It really might be time to add a better loco on that. Got it. I am going to fast forward it and pay off the loan and get these about set up right. We've got 384 there, so 1 more should do us. We may need to balance the station, make it a little bit bigger. It shouldn't need to be too much bigger. Repay that. What do we have now? Oh, the timing. We've just about got this sorted and we just unlocked the Vickers Victoria aircraft, which is the first freight plane. Yeah, our first freight plane. And that is the key to this whole setup, which is what we're going to do next week. Next time out. Ooh, pay that off. Yeah, right. We've got some money. Let's close all these. We'll finish these off next time out. I'm going to save it, but I'm going to make the change to this. Are you? No, let's not. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to save it, and then we'll take a cab ride on our new beefy trains here. We should see the other train, possibly. I don't know which way it's heading, but we'll ride on that. Alright guys, we're on board our new beefy ore train that we've got going. We might see the coal train as well coming the other way. We should do, shouldn't we? There's only it only goes up and down here. So hopefully either that or we'll be loading. We'll finish off these rates at the beginning of the next episode, and also make that change to the oil train that we've got, and then we'll link up via aircraft these two setups. Yes, with our Vickers Victoria, whatever it was called. Was it Vickers Victoria? And we'll finally make some goods to deliver to Worthing, and we'll get that set up as well, and it will all come together. And then you'll get to see just how broken trains are, and no doubt it's some not trains, planes are, and no doubt it's something to do with that maximum potential speed. I'm not going to go on about it any longer. But let me know in the comments. Try that cost per item calculation. It's just the running cost divided by the line throughput. It gives you a cost per item. Easy to do on freight because it's usually a fixed amount if you've got it all set up correctly. So yeah, let me know how that goes for you. Play with a few loco combinations. Does it align for you? I hope so. If that is the key to working out how your trains, or what is the most efficient train for the best profitable train for each line, that's cool, isn't it? It's not too difficult to work out. I might go and do it on the iron ore line. No big numbers thing at the beginning. I'll just tell you what the results were and change it if necessary. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.